The state ceremony to honor the 6 million Jews murdered by the Nazis brought Israeli leaders and foreign dignitaries to Jerusalem's Yad Vashem Holocaust Museum. The Jewish people live, Am Yisrael Chai. That's the phrase that rang out from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Our enemies, he said, tried to bury the Jewish future, but it was reborn in the land of our forefathers. But this generation, he warned, once again faces calls for the annihilation of the Jewish state, this time from the regime in Iran. Defending his comparison between the Holocaust and the threat of a nuclear Iran, Netanyahu said that to cower from telling the uncomfortable truth does much more to belittle the Holocaust and its victims than to speak up. The theme of this year's Holocaust Memorial Day is My Brother's Keeper, or Jewish solidarity, stories of how Jews helped each other survive the horrors of life under the Nazis are being showcased. Partisans who took in strangers they met in the forest or helped smuggle Jews to safety. Death camp inmates who shared a last piece of food or helped each other stand up during the infamous selection process. Brave acts of mutual responsibility were part of the stories of each of the 6 Holocaust survivors who lit a torch, 6 to symbolize each million that perished. Batsheva Dagan, now 86, lit one of those torches. Backstage, she told me what it meant to her to be part of the ceremony.
I think it is a privilege, and it is I would say, it is my victory. Of all I have suffered, and I love my country.
The Nazi occupation of Poland forced Dagan to flee her hometown of Lodz in 1941. She settled with some of her family in what became the Jewish ghetto of Radom. After Hitler's henchmen sent her parents and sister to Treblinka, where they were later murdered, Dagan fled to Germany. With false documents, she worked as a maid for a Nazi family until her ruse was discovered. You were in a number of German prisons, and you ended up at Auschwitz.
Yes.
How did you survive those horrors?
It is a very good question, because I want to tell you, I created in Auschwitz my own world. And I think that even in hell you have a choice. Because I mentioned beforehand how I loved school and learning. I lost it. So I learned in Auschwitz poems written by prisoners. I had no pencil, no paper, all by heart. And I remembered them, and after my liberation, I penciled them down. I have a book in English which is called Imagination, Blessed Be, Cursed Be.
Dagan spent 20 months at the Auschwitz death camp. A cousin saved her life by getting her a job at the hospital and at the Canada area, where she sorted the clothes and belongings of gassed Jews. What is it like to live with that fear that you just don't know if the next hour is going to bring your death?
Well, it is very, very hard, but another thing which helped me to survive was that we had a group of 8 girls. We supported one another, we spoke with one another, and we looked for other contents, not only speaking about death. Recollections of life in freedom, cooking, good things which we missed there, you know, and reciting poems.
Dagan emigrated to Israel after she was liberated by American troops. Unlike many who never spoke about their terrifying experiences, she became a Holocaust educator for children.
I think that children should know, because today in the world of multimedia, they absorb information which we wouldn't like to pass on, but they absorb, and I think that education should be a corrective process to show the right way and to show Shoah is also, we can speak about people who helped Jews to hide and to save them, from evil. And there are other themes which we can. I wrote several books for children.
Books that have what she calls a happy ending. She wanted to write her story down, she says, to help children keep their faith in mankind. She passed on that message to her own 2 children and her 10 grandchildren, one of which joined her backstage. A traditional mourner's prayer written especially for the souls of those so callously murdered by the Nazis and their accomplices ushered in a particularly solemn mood. So many men, women, and over 1 million children killed solely because they were Jews. May their memories be a blessing, the cantor pleaded. Jordana Miller, JN1, Jerusalem.